done the braking procedure and you've done all your tanks and that, what we do now is we start it up and we run it up and down, and we show you a tuning method that we look for. The idea is you run it up and down, flat out, come to a stop, let it idle for 30 seconds, and then you 10 seconds the idle should drop, and then after the rest of the 20 seconds you should idle and you should be able to pull away flat out. There should be a little splutter and then pull away clean. If it pulls away clean, then it means you need to just back the needle off. So reaching the needle up 5 minutes as if you were doing 5 minutes on the clock, and then repeat the procedure once up and down, bring it to a stop, and you can see on the video anyway how we do it. Okay? The engine running now. What we need to do is check the idle and the top end speed to make sure the tuning is optimal. What we'll do is we'll run it up and down a couple of times, then bring it back and check the idle. It should drop after 10 seconds and then pull away clean. You can see a nice trail of smoke coming away from it. And then it's pulling away clean. The idle should drop after 10 seconds. After another 20 seconds, you should be able to pull it away flat out. It should splutter and then pull away. And that's what you're looking for. Accelerate now, flat out. That's perfect tune. If it does cut out, you just need to turn the bottom end in, which is clockwise, 5 minutes, so you're doing it on a clock, and then repeat the process again. And if it's still running too rich, blowing the smoke out a lot, and it's not peaking, you can't hear it peaking, do the same with the top end. You need to get the balance right. The idle should drop after 10 minutes, 10 seconds. That's telling you that the bottom end mixture is correct. And if you want to check your idle as well, another tip, check that your idle's high enough to drop the car. It shouldn't cut. Well, you can turn it upside down as well. You don't need to rev it while the track, when you're on the track and you're racing. If your engine's set, it should run right like that. You can see it's running. Bounce it about, and go flat out. Okay, hope that's been some use. Cheers.
Cheers! I hope that's been some use. I think I passed that one. Next.
A good tip is if you keep your flywheel in line with the chassis, you'll know that your motor is running central, and this will be running central to your spur gear as well. Because if you're running at an angle, you can cause damage to your crankshaft, you can cause high wear to your bearings, and also a wear at an angle on your spur gear and clutch belt, and this all causes damage. So if you make sure this is square here, you can even measure it from this point to this point and this point to this point, make sure it's even. So once you've checked that, position the motor, so you just push it in, make sure you push it in evenly so it's square. Check for the nice noise of the backlash, you don't want too much or too little. And get your 3mm grub screw, carefully lift it up, just clamp and clamp crossways, just these two. Then check the squareness like I've told you, and once you're happy with that and the backlash feels right, which is correct, then you tighten the other two. Always goes crossways, it all helps with tightening anything down on your car. And then what I do is I use a bigger tool so you can get more on it and give it a good tighten up. Again, you don't need to use thread lock on these because you're using metal with aluminium. Once that's tight, check there's a nice sound. Sometimes you will get some rough sounding because your spur gear may be chipped, or you may have used a different clutch bell with that, but this will bed in. The most important thing is your nice backlash. Then you're ready to click your
nice tick
throttle
tick.
linkage on.
Click your throttle linkage on.
Already at a distance.
Snap.
Pops on. It's a bit tight. That's good. And you're looking, because you've got it nice and level, looking for it to snap back on the main spring.
Snap.
And it should snap back with the
Snap back.
carburetor return spring. It should return back on its own. Once you've got that set, and you're ready to set your linkage up and your throttle EPA. So now we've got the linkage on, we're ready to set the...
Okay, people, so anyway, I think I passed both those tests, but have I failed those tests? Many times. What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac is up late night, wrenching. Good news. Again, don't quote me because I don't know this guy, you know. My Nitro brother that, you know, you seen in the last video that was running his Rebo Traxxas scrub shit. That was funny, man. He's such a good spirited guy. I mean, I bust his balls, but he knows like, man, I got much love for that guy. You guys might think that I'm, you know, like I said, the Muggy Maniac, some mean guy, he's an asshole, he's this, he's that, he doesn't know how to treat people, he talks, whatever. You have no idea, okay? I helped this guy out a lot, and, you know, he's just real stubborn, man. You know, and that's how the case of a lot of people are. Stubborn mules, man. Stubborn jackasses, and I get it. Am I like that? Yes, I am like that, still. And you know, sometimes people got to learn the hard way. And you know how many times I set my mesh wrong? Oh my gosh. Many years. And you know how many times how long it took me to, you know, even to this day, to get a tune down? And the biggest thing was because I was listening to too many damn people. This guy tells me that. This guy tells me this. My hobby shop guy tells me that. This other hobby shop guy tells me that. This guy, you know, that has experience, blah, 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 blah. I mean, just so many people would bombard me with all this, and I would be confused. I mean, it's called a learning curve because it's a learning curve is something that you're going to go through. It's exactly what it says. It's a learning curve, and you got to get through that curve sometimes. And how I eliminated tongue-tied, eliminated a lot of the confusion for me personally was videos like this. I mean, Mike Craddock, this guy has 20 years experience. Team Kyosho. Okay? Those of you guys that know or don't know, he was, for many, many years, the mechanic, pit guy, whatever you want to call him, for Elliott Boots. One of the top 5 guys, 5 pro Nitro buggy and trucky guys in the world. He's a Brit. He's from Britain or England. I think he's English. But anyway, Mike Craddock has a lot of great videos. There's those 2 that I showed you, and the other one that I watched a lot of his. The other one that I watch is the one where he talks about engine maintenance. He shows you how to tear apart an engine and check things and maintain it, you know, when you need to. And the reason I gravitated towards him is because he has a lot of experience with Reds motors. And as you guys know, the Muggy has a couple Reds, and I'm looking probably get another 1 or 2. I like Reds motors. And yeah, I know they're .21, but when they're modded, it's a whole different story, man. I'm telling you. When you guys wait till you guys, you know, I'm going to give you guys a break in between the videos instead of bombarding you guys with a bunch of running videos. You guys have already seen, you know, by now, you've already seen the running video of this badass. I love my Mugen. Like I said, I love my Techno. These are both my children, and I love them equally. There's no favoritism with my kids, and that's how I am in real life. Okay? Same thing with my whips. I love all these whips equally. Some have different attributes. Some have different, you know, Sentimental values, that was my first, the XTM Muggy. That was my second, my buggy. Then came the, I think it was, this is where I get mixed up. I think it was the Techno. Yeah, and then the Mugen. So anyway, but I love my whips equally, man. Okay, but I do favor this one a little bit more. I love this vehicle. This is a nasty. Don't get this twisted, man. A lot of guys, you know, it's all about the Technos, the low Cs. Not a lot. There's not a lot of people that I've seen on the tube, and that's one of the reasons I started. You know, the reason that I picked these vehicles is because I didn't see anybody doing any next level modified shit. Now, granted, I am not jumping off roofs. I'm not doing the Mr. Za jump in the air, and I get a lot of criticisms for that. But my Nitro brother, he says sometime this week, and I'm not going to make any promises, but sometime until or when this time this week, we are going to the wetlands, and I am super excited. We're going to launch one of these bitches in the air. I don't know which one it is. Most people probably want to see the Techno. I really, the Techno's cool. I mean, it's great. I know it's going to fly. I know it has, you know, I might bring both of these. I really just want to bring one because I don't, I mean, the video that you guys seen, last video, I ran both my Mugen, and the next video that you're going to see after this one is you're going to see my, you're going to see that, the Mugen MBX 5 buggy prospect. That thing's nasty. Okay, as far as she got nasty, I love this vehicle. It is, what did I say on my last video? I think I said this is 20 years old. This is more older. This is older than that. This thing came out, I think, in 2004, 2000. Let's just say 2005. One of those 2 years it came out. Okay, we're what, 2019? So that's, let's say 5, 10, that would be 5 years, plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Well, yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. 2005, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, I think it's like 15 years. I don't know. But it's been, this vehicle is an antique. The MBX 5s, when they came out, buggies, this was when Mugen changed a lot of their shit. Mine, I personalized it because it has a lot of things. The only things that's original on this thing is pretty much the chassis and the shocks. I mean, the shock towers are too, but I've replaced a lot of the stuff on it because it was kind of worn. I mean, this has titanium front and rear chassis braces, which these are very rare. You can find them. Good luck. Now, I don't know if they were custom made. I can't remember if it was a company or it was somebody that. Anyway, but they're titanium. Same thing with the acronym. The acronym, which is what the steering connected to, that's titanium. And then it's got titanium hinge pins, titanium turnbuckles. You know, these little deals. Carbon fiber. I think it's like 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter. These uprights, shock towers are thicker than shit. You know, it's got all the bells and whistles. I mean, this thing has everything. And I'm gonna replace the chassis because, as you can see, the person that had it before, they did a lot of altering and shit. So I mean, I don't like chassis that have been altered. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with this chassis. It's fine, but I just don't like alterations. People cut into the chassis to make their bump box work, shit like that. So I want to get a new chassis for this, and I want to upgrade the shocks. These shocks are good. I've never had a problem with them. I take care of them. I regularly maintain them. I'm getting ready to maintain this whole thing. Like, this thing got pretty dirty. You guys are going to see the video of it after this video. You'll see the video of this thing running with the OS modded by BAM RCR. Okay, this motor, I'm not, you know me, Muggy's an Italian, I'm not the Chinaman guy. This is a badass motor. When you see this thing run, this thing was getting nasty. This thing was, you know, point 21 is not going to pull no wheelies or pull the front end up. Although this thing was trying to yank the front end up. But it did really well. I'm very happy. This thing is a badass motor. It's very good on fuel. One thing that I do like about point 21s, when they're modified even, is they're pretty decent on fuel economy. But I run the Byron, so Byron's I've never had a fuel economy issue. Actually, VP was the best fuel mileage I ever got out of any fuel. But like I told you guys in the past, when I ran VP through my Italian motors, man, I had a hard time tuning, all kinds of issues, man. They hated that shit, and VP left a lot of corrosion in my crank. That's why any VP product, I don't care if it's in any other kind of fuel, I won't use VP anymore. Now, it would work good in my OS motor, which it did. It worked good in my OFNA motor. It worked good in Chinaman motors. But when I put it in, Novarassi's, and it didn't like that shit, man. I had a hard time to, like I said, it was really weird. And I put Byrons in all of those motors, and I never had a problem. So, I mean, Byrons, I've never had an issue with it. You guys use what you want. Everybody's into the bone stuff now, and there's other fuels out there. Some people use Torcos, some people use Nitro. Whatever works for you. All I'm telling you, I've been using Byrons for the last 5 years, and I've never had an issue. I love Byrons. Yeah, it is a little pricey, but that's what you pay for it. Quality, people, you know what I'm saying? The Bones is cheaper, whatever. Well, I don't know. The Bones hasn't proven nothing to me. Raja did prove that it still pretty lubricates the motor. He took a motor apart after using Bones, but he's running a .21 and he's racing it. He's not screaming it. Remember, when we're running our shit as bashers, recreational guys or whatever, it's different than racing. We're pinning the throttle a lot more. Okay? I think people forget that. When you're racing, you're only pinning the throttle not even, 20 feet? That's it? Whee! A little quick blip. We're screaming our shit all day long. Whee! We're on the throttle. You want the most protection and lubrication as you can get in Byrons, and the mixture of the fuel has 50% Castrol, 50% synthetic. And I'm not talking about the lubrication part of it, because like I said before, when you look at lubrication and what it says on the bottle, it's just telling you the nitro mixture, the nitro percentage, and the lubrication. It's not telling you about anything else. That's 41%. There's still 60, or what did I say? That's 41%. Okay? There's still another 49% of other shit in fuel. Okay? Or actually, yeah. Is that right? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying. So, and that's what I'm saying. Byrons has, in the fuel mixture of Byrons, it has 50% synthetic and 50% Castrol in the fuel mixture. Now, if you run a fuel that has that, then that's fine. That's plenty. It's good protection. I like running 11, and I even ramp my shit up. My 30% fuel, I'm running like 12% lubrication. Sometimes 13. I like to lubricate my motors better because, why? Because these Italians like to run a little bit rich. They don't like to run lean. Try running these things lean and see what happens. You're not going to blow it up. It'll bog. You'll hear it. Every time, man. The Rex Legends especially. If you try to lean these things out, they'll tell you right away. You'll go to nail the throttle and it'll bog. It doesn't like to run real lean. And they run fine, a little bit rich. And I'm not saying you run, rich, thick, fat, where oil's dripping out and your smoke, you look like the space shuttle going down wherever you're running, leaving a smoke trail like that. But you want to lubricate it. So, I mean, you want it to blow a little bit of smoke. I mean, you guys have seen that video. This thing is pulling the front end up off the ground. This thing did a backflip. It came up, you seen it, did a backflip. And I don't need no freaking jumps. This thing jumps off the ground. I mean, this thing is hooking up like a tow truck. This motor is badass, but it's not just all the motor. You gotta I prepare my shit when I put these things in there. A lot of it's the clutch, the diffs. I'm running 125K in the middle, 60 on the front, 60 on the rear. That's what I'm running in all my shit now. Buggy or trucky, doesn't matter. Because before that, I'm still spinning the tires in grass. So now I'm spinning the tires. This thing's fucking pulling the front end. Excuse my language, pulling the front end up. This thing just wanted to. Every time I got on it, man, and I wasn't trying to pin. Every time I got on it, just the front end just I need wheelie bars on this thing. I'm telling you, I've ran 2 gallons through this motor right here. Rick brake, RB modified, 28.8 Rex Legend. And this is a badass motor. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that Rick doesn't do good work, but compared to the one that I got here, and that thing doesn't even have any, not even a half gallon through it. This thing is going to get better. I can only imagine when this thing gets around 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons, this thing is going to be evil. It already is. I love it in my Mugen. So maybe the wetlands thing, I think I'm going to take this thing and I think I'm going to beat the hell out of her. And I think she can handle it. We'll see if these pillow balls, you know, are weak or not. We'll find out, won't we? So anyway, she ran killer. I'm running the 9886, the 41032. I'm running a 15. I think I said on my video 14. I'm running I forgot what I had on. I'm running a 15 in it. I might even drop it down to a 13. I mean a 14. That'll make it a lot quicker. But then I'm afraid that it's going to do backflips. Just can't keep the front end down. I don't really want the front end floating when I'm trying to, you know. I mean, I like it. It's cool. You know, and everybody talks about, oh man, Muggy, you haven't got your shit in the air. Yeah, okay, we'll get there. Trust me. Don't think I don't want to. And don't get it twisted. Like, don't think that these things are never going to get airborne. They will. I don't care if I got to put them on my roof of my house and jump them off. But, and for those, this is for those people out there that are always, you know, talking shit. Hey, you can jump your shit in the air, right? Okay. Does your shit pull the front end off the ground? There's only one guy that I've seen pull his shit pull off the ground. Actually, two. Mr. 111, with his modified Rex, that thing pulled the front ends off the ground all the time. And the only other guy that I see him pull his front end off the ground is Mr. Za. His shit, modified shit would. So, you know, RCR mods. Lance Hedman dynos his shit. Rick Brake at RB Mods doesn't dyno nothing. He doesn't have a dyno. Now, does that mean he doesn't mod great and well? No, I'm just saying that there's a difference, okay? My shit is dynoed after he's done with it to tell him where it's. I asked him how much horsepower increased on my motors. He was like around 10,000 RPM. I mean, not horsepower, but RPMs. He's like about another 10,000 RPMs. I'm like, damn. These things already have a lot of RPM stock. Big blocks. So anyway, this thing is nasty. Now we're going to get this thing out again. I know I probably mentioned in the video, the reason the last time I ran this thing was running really, really lean. And it seemed like the idle was really high. And I got it dialed in a little bit better, but I really couldn't get it dialed in. You know why? And this thing was actually popping. If you get a popping noise, you know, like you try to get on it, pop, 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 it like almost backfires. Usually it's because there's a leak somewhere in your carburetor. 9 out of 10 times. And I tripped out. I'm like, dang, I just got this motor modified. Man, these LRPs, maybe they just suck. Well, you know what happened is when I got that Elite, the Elite, I think it's the Elite, the Novarossi Elite motor, it came with, no, it didn't, not that carburetor. The carburetor that it came on it, I think it was one of these. I wanted to switch the carburetor out. I think I had this one on there. This is a brand new carburetor. See, this doesn't have the third needle, the mid needle. So I took this carburetor and before I sent it to Lance, I put it on the LRP. Not realizing that the carburetor that I already had on the LRP, okay, which is the 3 needle carb, Novarossi, was already milled. Obviously, I already milled it to go on there in the first place. What a knucklehead I am. That's fucking muggy. See, I'm a dumb shit, so, you know, I make mistakes. But anyway, so that's what the deal was. And that's why it kept doing that. And when it seemed like it was running really lean. And when you get your shit's running lean, check your carburetor. Sometimes it might be a leak in your carburetor or something. Obviously, by putting a Novarossi carburetor on here that's not milled, because you got to take a millimeter off of it, man, you're not going to tune it. And I had a trouble with it. That's what. So now that I got the milled carburetor back in here we should be fine. This is a badass motor too. I'm just trying to get more fuel because this is the brand new motor. It has to go through the process of being broken in, and it takes time. These don't. These are ready to roll. I mean, you'll see on the next video after this, the OS. Man, I was screaming that thing. I was screaming that bitch like a bat out of hell. And she runs great. This motor settles down right away. I mean, but it's an OS. The OSs aren't hard to tune. Okay? Look at, you guys seen the carburetors before. Look at that carburetor. See that carburetor? Looks identical to a Novarossi carburetor to me, except it's aluminum. They are. They're pretty much copied of Novarossi. So, OSs, Rex Legends, LRP .32s with Novarossi carburetors on them, they're not hard to tune. Like I said, again, you want to learn how to tune? You want to get good at tuning? You want to think you're all chingon, Mr. Badass Tuner? Here, like I said, again, tune one of these babies. Learn to tune a Pico. That's the hardest motor to tune, man. But, on the flip side of that, once you get it tuned, you don't have to do shit to it. And I don't have to do anything with modified. When you get the cool thing about when you're getting motors modded, you have less to mess with. Like this motor now, it's gonna, as it breaks in more, as I run more fuel through it, its behavior is gonna change a little bit. It's gonna get stronger. So I'm not gonna mess with it really a lot. The idle on this thing is perfect, as you guys see. And this thing settles down right away. I mean, I did the Crotic thing. Wrapped my shit, ripped it around. You see it on my video. Shit. Idle came down under 10 seconds. Sat there. I counted how many times. I could have counted a minute. And matter of fact, I think it idled for longer than a minute. And just nailed it. Splutter of smoke. Right on it. Perfect. This thing is perfectly tuned. Now, is it going to change? Yeah, as the weather changes and all that, and this gets more, it gets, continues to be broken in, it's going to change. But this thing is money. Money, money, money. I am so satisfied. And like I said, Rick does good work, and I have no problem with the motors that Rick did for me. But when you see, after we get done running this a couple more times, I have it on video, we're going to pop the 28.8 Rex Legend modified by Rick in here. But I can already tell you, I can do a video right now and go on video because I ran both these motors, okay, and tell you which one. And you believe whatever you want. People are going to believe whatever they want. People aren't really sold on Lance because they don't know a lot about him. Because he doesn't put his shit out there, like I said. Lance is not a guy that does a lot of this. He lets his work speak for itself. And I can tell you from experience that his shit is on point. And I've taken it apart and looked inside of it too. We compared it, and I looked to compare to, yeah, Rick does the fangs and Rick does, this. Lance doesn't even do really the fangs, okay? But Lance does more of the porting. He does a lot of the head is it's the head, you've seen the head. His crank fill is different. The fill that he uses is way better quality than whatever Rick's using. I can tell you that by looking at it. He did more crank work than Rick did. Plus, bottom line is, Lance dynos his shit, okay? Need I say any more? Rick doesn't have a dyno. So you do what you want. I'm just telling you, personal experience, RCR shit is the next level above Rick Break stuff at RB Mods. RB Mods is great. Good. But next level? No. I think Lance is next level. Which is what I'm looking at, man. That's the reason I seeked him out and the reason I did research on him and did a lot of homework before I even, picked him. Okay? I do my research and homework, man. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that. If you guys want to get better at this and hone your skills, man, you got to do some homework. Watch some more videos, for crying out loud. I watch these guys all the time. So like I said, the way that I eliminate a lot of the confusion that I had and when I got back into Nitro, 5 years ago now? I just started listening to the top guys. I didn't listen to anybody, really, except these guys. Crotic, Mr. Bodegel, okay, learned a lot from him. Adam Drake, learned a lot from him. Ryan Lutz, even that JT12 kid from Britain, what's the other one? It's there's another, that guy, what's his name, that does RC Nitro. No, it's called Nitro RCX. If you watch that guy, Asian guy, He does a lot of the fly sky tutorials, okay? But that guy has some good videos too, you know? TLR for life, that's another guy. You know, if you watch that video, it's that one that I just showed you. It's Red's Elliott Boots break-in and tuning. Okay? The Nitro RCX guy, he has a video called Fine Tuning. And then you go to JT12 and he has the low needle tuning and high needle. I learned a lot from those guys. So those are some of the names that I still go back and look at them. I always keep my, you got to exercise your brain, people. You don't just watch a video one time and that's it. I mean, that one by Mike Croddick, he shows you right there how to set your mesh. And like I said, I stripped a lot of gear. And I only stripped gear, the XTM gears out. Because obviously they were plastic. the center gears before I changed them. Stripped the hell out of those. But other than that, I've never, ever in all my career, eword, Nitro, stripped out any metal gears. That's pretty tough to do. Well, it's not tough to do, but that's when you really fucked your mesh up. Big time. So anyway, there's a video for you on your mesh. Adam Drake does a good one on your mesh. Nitro Nerd does it. A lot of those guys do. Nitro Nerd's another guy, man. I learned a lot from him. Mostly his older shit. I still watch it. Okay? So if you want to get unconfused and, you know, don't listen to too many people, go to the top. I listen to the big dogs. I'm not listening to some small potato guy, you know? Or some, you know, some little scrub guy, you know? And I didn't mean that potato thing, Mark, I just made towards, you know who. Don't get that twisted. Anyway, I have no hatred for anybody. I have brotherly love for, you know, a lot of guys that I don't even get along with. I don't really care for them. I probably wouldn't go have a cup of coffee with them, but it doesn't matter. Learn what you can from whoever you can, even if you can't stand the sight of them. Smart thing would be to learn what you can, and the rest just leave it and move on. So anyway, we're gonna get this bitch, my bitch. She is, man, I like this body, man. Came out pretty cool, the carbon fiber thing that I did on it. Like I said, if you guys, man, invest in the carbon fiber shit, man. You can, if you're creative, if you're lazy, again, if you are a lazy person, Muggy's not going to tell you to get out of RC. He is going to tell you to get out of Nitro. If you're lazy, go to eword, by all means. Mr. Za always emphasized that. One thing about, if you watch his videos, he always pointed at Oreo, which I love that dog. Oreo, see, he would be like, see right there, E-word? Because Oreo was always snoozing. He said, see, you can't be like that. That's that E-word shit. Oh, by the way, did you guys see my new... Is that true or what? There you go. Nitro RC guys. Electric RC guys. Any questions? Shouldn't be. So anyway, a couple tips I'm going to give you guys real quick. One, this is the shit you use. Brasso. Cleans brass, copper, stainless steel, chrome, aluminum, pewter, bronze. It will take elbow grease. So if you're lazy, don't even worry about it. Just run your pipes into the ground, and when they get beat the hell up, okay, like you seen Mr. 111's, tore back pipes, then boil them and crock pot them or whatever you want to do. I clean mine on a regular basis. Every time I'm done running my vehicle, when I pull the shit apart and clean everything, I clean my pipes. I use Brasso. Now look at that. Isn't that shit? Look how clean that is. That's bling bling. That's just, see that? Can you see the difference? I've only done this part. Look at what it looked like before. And it had spots on it too. Big time. See, look at the whole other side. It only takes a couple rubbing elbow grease. Look at the header. See the header? I just did this side. I didn't do this side yet. So, if you want something to clean your pipes really well, but it's going to take a little elbow grease, you might have to clean it. You get it oxidized really. Rub it until your rag turns like this. You'll see your rag. Look at that. See that? Black. Once you've seen it turn black, take a microfiber cloth, terry cloth, whatever, wipe it up. That's what it looks like. Look at that. Look at that, people. Look at that. Bling, bling, man. If you're going to spend $100 on damn pipes, take care of this shit, man. That's what I do. These pipes, mine, the pipe. I don't know what pipes you guys run. If you're running Chinaman cheap-ass pipes, dynamites, you can't do them unless they're this finish, because most of the dynamites, it's got that bronze color coating. But if you are not paying a lot of money, then don't worry about it. Like I said, you might as well just get them till they're tore back and toss them and get another $30 pipe. And I've got plenty. I got a box full of $30 pipes, people. Matter of fact, do I still? Yeah, I got a whole box. I got dynamites. But if you're gonna buy and spend money, this is an Italian pipe. I love this pipe, by the way. This is a Works EFRA 2058. A main carries this $100. If you got .21s, stock or modded, it's a nasty pipe. This is a pipe. You'll see it on the OS when you see that video after this one. So anyway, that's how you take care of your pipes. You want another tip here? Fuel line. Get a little piece. See how, I mean, sure you got plenty of extra fuel line. Fuel line. Spark plug wrenches. Dynamite. I love this one. It's pretty good. You can get a nice torque on it. I have other ones, but I like this one. The only problem with these is when you go to take the plug out, it always falls out, right? And you got to get a pair of pliers and pull the damn plug out. I hate that shit. That's retarded. So what I did is I put a little piece of fuel line inside of there, but you got to glue it inside of there. You can't just put it in there. Cut the right size, get it in there far enough, glue it in there, let the glue dry, and then what you did is you just created a little deal that grabs your plug. Look at that. By the way, let's check the plug after running really rich in that last video. Look at that shit. Perfect. Golden and perfect. Any questions? Shouldn't be. So anyway, that's a little tip for you there. Another one is here. If you want to make some cool deals for your hood clips, your body clips, okay, you put the zip tie on the end, right? Then you take a piece of fuel line, put a piece on there, cut it to the right size, and leave a little bit on the end. And then what you take is you take another zip tie, tighten it, put it on there, nice and snug, and then snip the end of that off, and there you go. That's what you got. It's easier to grab, harder to lose. I did that with a fuel line, so that's another tip for you. So I mean, that's pretty much it. We were going to do the next battle deal we're going to do, or should I say shootout, is we're going to shoot out these two bad boys right here. It's going to be Battle of the Point. We're going to run the Rex again. I want to compare Lance's modified LRP .32. Now that it's got the right carburetor on there. I feel like such an idiot too. That's stupid. When I figured that out, I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder the damn thing was idling high and it sounded like it was running too lean. I'm thinking like, man, do I know how to tune anymore? Maybe I don't know how to tune. No, I'm just kidding. I know how to tune. Trust me. I got proof. Anyway, I want to compare the LRP .32 modified by RCR against the Novarossi. Now, what I told you, well, I don't know if I told you guys, Rick dynoed these, and he said that this LRP .32 on the dyno has got more bottom and more mid than the 28.8 Rex Legend. But top end, the Rex Legend will spank that ass. So basically, like in a short drag, like maybe I'd say 60, 70 feet, the LRP .32 would get that ass of the Rex Legend. But after that, like after 50, 60 feet, when the top end kicks in, the Rex Legend will walk away from the LRP .32. So the 28.8 Rex Legend has more top. This has more bottom and mid. But running that thing, you guys seen on the last video? I don't know, man. Like dyno is one thing, but when you actually put load, dyno doesn't tell you the load, what it runs like with a load on it. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you're running your shit on you're tuning it on your box and you put it on the ground. It's a whole different thing because now you're putting the motor under load. So everything's different now. I mean, not everything's different, but you know what I'm saying? So I think that Rex Legend, I don't know. This thing, so far, I don't know. We'll find out. I didn't see this thing pulling me no wheelies. Now, this might have more mid and bottom, okay? But torque-wise, that 28.8 Rex Legend still, in my opinion, is one of the torquiest motors that they make. Stock or modded. But that P3 Pico 0.28, this thing has nasty torque. I firmly, you know, from having both and running both, my experience is this P3 modified by RB Mods. This is, Rick did an awesome job on this motor. Okay, I would like to see what Lance would do to one of these. That's why I'm getting another one of these. I'm going to have Lance mod it, and we'll compare this Pico modded by Rick against Lance's. But so far, this thing, I would put this Pico right now, modified, maybe we might do that later, modified by RB Mods, this Pico P3 0.28, I would put it up against Lance's modified Rex Legend. I think this Pico would spank that ass. But you know, but the Pico, again, doesn't have a lot of top end. I will tell you that. Neither does the LRP. I feel it on those motors, and I believe it's because of the 7-port, because it only has 7 ports. That 8-port is what gives that thing just that top end. It just continues to want to scream. Like I wasn't even in the video you guys seen. I wasn't even giving her full throttle. I wasn't pinning it. I was giving her almost full throttle, but I wasn't like stabbing it, as I don't want to, because it's only got 12, 13 tanks through it. So it's not even got a gallon through it yet. So it's getting there. It's close to a gallon. We're getting there. Probably a couple more rip sessions and we'll have about a gallon. I can't wait to get 2 gallons through this thing, man. It's nasty, man. I am so just really surprised that I mean, and I can tell the difference. You guys seen it on the video. This thing, it just, I love this motor more. I wanna make love to this motor. I'm just playing. You're like, dang, Muggy, you are sick in the head. Yes, I am. But anyway, we're gonna run this again. She didn't get too dirty. I didn't really full blown her in the dirt. That thing ripped her. You're gonna see this thing. This thing, we ripped it in the dirt, ripped it down some dirt trails, ran it around in the grass, there was mud over there. I mean, it didn't get too dirty. I pretty much surface cleaned it pretty good. I'm still gonna pull the rear clip and the front clip off and the center diff. When it gets dirty like this, I like to pull them all off and see if I can get away with cleaning it without having to take the arms and all that shit off. If I have to, I will. I usually will take the shocks off too and go through the shocks to make sure they're good, so they feel still. I mean, I almost want to take this thing out to wetlands too. I want to take all my whips out there. I want to take this damn thing out there too and launch it, but it's, man, they don't make them no more. This is a collectible. I can't beat it up like that. Now these, on the other hand, these are made to be beat down. So these are going to get a beat down. So anyway, that's all I got. Like I said, we're going to see later who the badass is. Modified OS XR Max. Okay, by Lance Hedman, RCR. Or modified Reds R5 Team Edition by Rick Brake at RB Mods. Reds versus OS. Rick versus Lance. We'll see. Alright, people. Remember, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever puts a smile on your face, remember, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, even if you didn't get the results that you were trying to get, at least if you learned something, you got ahead that day. If you didn't learn anything, then it was a shitty day. So anyway, and when you're not running your shit, make sure you set your piston bottom dead center. Okay? Don't be leaving that piston all up in your shit. Okay? You feel me? You know what I'm saying, people? Bottom, where is it at? Bottom, we have bottom dead center? Look at that. Can you guys even see in there? Look at that. See that? We'll see. We'll show you. Look. See that? Piston up. Piston down. Piston up. Piston down. Make sure it's down. Got your monkey juice in there. And you're good to go. Alright, people. Next video you'll be seeing after that is you're going to see this little pea shooter getting freaky over there with my cougar. With the Mugen buggy. And then hopefully be able to get you guys some wetland footage. Maybe sometime this weekend. Alright, people. Deuces.